Even though it may be just a tiny bite, it is powerful enough to take down a leopard or leave an antelope unable to lift its legs. Welcome to today's video. 15 terrifying moments, animals paralyzed by snake venom, where death does not roar like a beast but instead spreads silently through every drop of venom. From cobras and pit vipers to puff adders and copperheads, each species carries a different kind of biological weapon, and every victim meets a shocking end. Do not look away, because what you are about to see might change the way you look at snakes forever. Number 1. The leopard and the invisible bite of the black mamba. The leopard is one of Africa's most agile and dangerous predators, but even a top predator can fall from just a single bite, especially when that bite comes from a black mamba. While tracking its prey, the leopard moves in close to a low bush, unaware that a black mamba is hiding within. With lightning-fast reflexes, the snake strikes, biting the leopard's hind leg and then quickly retreats. Black mamba venom is a powerful neurotoxin that attacks the central nervous system, paralyzing muscles, especially those responsible for breathing. There is no chase, no fight. The leopard collapses in silence. Number 2. The wildebeest. Spinning in the swamp. During the dry season, when waterholes shrink, they become more than just vital lifelines for herbivores. They turn into perfectly disguised death traps. The king cobra, the largest venomous snake in the world, often waits at the water's edge, hidden beneath mud or low vegetation. When a wildebeest approaches, a single bite can change everything. The venom of the king cobra is a mix of neurotoxins and muscle-paralyzing toxins. Once injected into the body, these toxins cut off communication between the brain and the muscles, severely affecting both respiratory and motor functions. The wildebeest may be able to run a few steps out of instinct, but within moments its body completely shuts down. Number 3. Baboon bitten and the desperate rescue by its companions. The puff adder has venom that causes massive tissue necrosis. This snake often lies in ambush close to the ground where sunlight barely filters through the forest canopy, making visibility for many animals very poor. Unlike the black mamba, the puff adder is not fast, but it is extremely dangerous due to its near-perfect camouflage. A single bite from this snake causes immediate pain and triggers localized tissue breakdown. Baboons, a highly social primate species, have a strong instinct to protect their own. But even the fastest rescue attempt by a fellow baboon cannot undo the damage caused by the puff adder's cytotoxins. When the bite is to the face, an area rich in blood vessels and soft tissue, the venom spreads rapidly, causing severe damage. Without medical intervention, even in humans, the risk of death or permanent tissue loss is extremely high. Number 4. Buffalo. Killed by a black mamba bite. The African buffalo is one of the toughest herbivores on the savanna. But even this 760-pound beast, or about 800 kilograms, is not immune to the venom of the green mamba. When bitten, usually on the neck where the skin is thinner and blood vessels are more exposed, the neurotoxic venom spreads rapidly through the circulatory system, paralyzing the respiratory muscles and the motor nervous system. The buffalo may react instinctively with a moment of panic, but its entire ability to move quickly collapses. Within minutes, its massive body gives out and crashes to the ground in silence. Number 5. Lion dies after eating snake venom contaminated antelope. In the natural food chain, it is not only the animals that are bitten directly who suffer the effects of venom. A rare but extremely dangerous case is when a poisoned prey animal survives just long enough to be eaten before the venom fully kicks in. A young antelope had previously been bitten by a venomous snake but managed to escape, only to be caught shortly afterward by a lion because the venom was still active in its blood and muscle tissue. Consuming a large quantity of contaminated meat caused the lion to absorb enough toxins to affect its nervous and circulatory systems. Just a few hours after the meal, both lions and the pride began showing strange symptoms: rapid breathing, loss of balance, and then collapsed almost simultaneously. Number 6. Jackal. Attacked by a cobra. Jackals are agile predators, known for their resilience in harsh environments. However, when attacked by a cobra, especially when bitten around the neck or head, their bodies quickly slip into paralysis. The primary cause is the snake's neurotoxic venom, which disrupts the communication between the central nervous system and the muscles. Paralysis unfolds in sequence. First, the motor muscles weaken, followed by the loss of control over breathing. The victim gradually loses all ability to move and becomes completely immobilized, even though there may be no visible wounds. Number 7. Unlucky hyena. Swallowed alive by a python. Pythons may not have venom, but they are deadly predators that rely entirely on raw mechanical strength to kill. When a hyena wanders into its strike range, the python wraps its long muscular body around it and delivers a crushing squeeze. The pressure directly affects the chest and major blood vessels, cutting off circulation and causing the hyena to suffocate and pass out within seconds. Once the hyena stops struggling, the python begins swallowing it whole by stretching its lower jaw joints. Thanks to its incredibly flexible jaw structure, the snake can ingest prey much larger than the width of its own mouth. Number 8. Cheetah encounters a puff adder. The puff adder is one of the most dangerous snakes in Africa. Not because of its size or looks, but because of its perfect camouflage and lightning-fast strike at close range. This snake rarely hunts actively. Instead, it lies motionless, blending into the dry grass, waiting for prey to wander close. For predators, like cheetahs who rely entirely on speed and reflexes, a single bite to the face from a puff adder can lead to disaster. The venom immediately begins destroying soft tissue, paralyzing the peripheral nervous system and disrupting muscle control. In the unforgiving wild where every predator fights for survival, even a few minutes of paralysis can mean a death sentence. Number 9. Bobcat. A nightmare from inside the rock caves. Bobcats are solitary animals that often choose quiet, hidden crevices in rocky areas to rest overnight, but these seemingly safe shelters can sometimes be home to venomous snakes, especially cobras during mating season. With extremely sensitive defensive instincts, the snake will strike immediately upon detecting nearby movement. If bitten around the neck, the venom quickly reaches the nervous system, causing reflex disruptions and reduced motor function. Despite the bobcat's endurance and sharp reflexes, a single deadly bite is enough to rapidly weaken it and strip away its control. Number 10. Raccoon. Innocence paid with death. Young raccoons are naturally curious, especially when exploring dense forest environments. That curiosity often leads them straight into hidden dangers, such as the copperhead, a venomous snake common in warm, humid regions. Though its bite does not always kill instantly, the hemotoxin in its venom can cause severe swelling, intense pain, and local blood flow disruption. With such a small body, a young raccoon is highly vulnerable to shock from pain and venom, especially when bitten in the leg, an area directly affecting its ability to move. Once it loses the capacity to run or find shelter, its chances of survival are almost non-existent. Number 11. Black panther battles a giant python. In water, a clash between a black panther and a large python in water is a perfect showdown of two completely different hunting strategies. The python relies on brute strength and powerful constriction, while the black panther depends on speed and agile counterattacks. When ambushed in the water, an environment where maneuvering is limited, the python coils defensively and launches a retaliatory bite in an attempt to fend off the predator. However, the black panther uses its agility to dodge and strikes back with slashes and critical bites. As the python slows down from blood loss and struggles to constrict in the water, the panther maintains relentless pressure. Eventually, its persistence and proactive strategy win out, and it drags the python's body ashore. Number 12. Jaguar. In the tropical swamps of South America, water snakes may not be large, but they have an effective defense strategy: quick bite and retreat. When a jaguar, a powerful predator, gets too confident and closes in on a swimming snake, it does not expect such a precise defensive reaction from the weaker opponent. A bite to the front limb allows the venom to spread rapidly through the peripheral nervous system. As a result, the jaguar loses sensation in one leg and can no longer move safely. In the wild, even temporary loss of control can place a predator at a major disadvantage. Number 13. Mongoose, stunned by a crate bite. Mongooses are known to have some resistance to venom due to a unique structure in their nervous and immune systems. However, that does not mean they are completely immune. When attacked by an Indian crate, a snake with extremely potent neurotoxins, the mongoose might still fight back after the bite, but its bodily responses quickly become abnormal. The venom disrupts nerve signal transmission, leading to declining respiratory and circulatory functions. Number 14. Lion cub escapes a cobra attack. In the semi-arid regions of Africa, Lion cubs are highly vulnerable to small but extremely dangerous predators, like the African cobra. One afternoon, while playing near a bush, a lion cub suddenly encounters a cobra rearing up ready to strike. With an instinctive reflex, the cub panics and runs before the snake can lunge. The noise and alarm pheromones immediately alert the mother lion. She does not try to fight. Instead, she uses her body to shield the cub and pushes it to safety. Together, they retreat quickly from the area. Number 15. Lemur, the Madagascar. Lemur is a semi-primate species that lives primarily in the treetops, known for its agility, as it leaps between high branches. However, when moving through areas with sparse canopy or low coverage, it becomes an easy target for arboreal snakes. A bite to the upper limb allows venom to enter quickly through the capillaries, disrupting the motor nervous system. The resulting loss of balance, combined with a fall from more than 20 feet or over 6 meters, causes not just skeletal injuries, but also accelerates physical decline while the nervous system is shutting down. We often believe that the strong will always win. But nature does not follow that rule. A tiny bite can bring down a lion, and even the fastest, fiercest creatures are not safe from an invisible weapon called venom. Have you ever had a frightening encounter with a snake? Share your story in the comments below, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more jaw-dropping survival battles ahead.